Hello yogis, and welcome to your 60-minute yin practice with me, Michelle. For today's class, I would grab a couple of props handy. I have a block and a bolster. If you do not have any of these props at home, you can grab a long, maybe soft pillow and one that's a little bit more hard or dense to mimic a block. Whatever is going to work best for you today. Let's start our practice laying on our back in a nice, comfortable shavasana posture. Meeting in shavasana, let's take 2 grounding breaths to arrive on your mat. In through the nose, filling the belly. Exhale, big sigh out the mouth. Inhale. Fresh breath. Exhale, big sigh out. Closing down the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just softening from head to toe. Starting to tune out the outside world as we tune into our breath. Feeling the belly, the lungs lift as we inhale and drop and empty as we exhale. Just continuing with this breath at your own pace. Let the rhythm of your breath guide you deeper into stillness. Feeling heavy and supported by the earth and your mat beneath you. Starting to unwind the body, unwind the mind. And just take a few breaths into the top of the cranium. Imagine the breath swirling across the forehead, behind the backs of the eyes, down the jaw. Just creating space around the brain, the cranium. Letting any wandering thoughts to start to flow out of the head. For the next 60 minutes, you have nowhere to go, nowhere to be, no one or thing to think about. Give yourself this permission to indulge in your practice. Indulge in your breath. And let's just give yourself one moment of gratitude. Thanking yourself for being on your mat today. Maybe shavasana is exactly what your body needs. Feel free to stay here for as long as you need. Taking a few more moments just to soak in stillness. Inhale, full belly breath. And as you exhale, allow the head to spill over to the right. 2 breaths here, breathing behind the back of the ear, down the side of the neck, into the shoulder. Inhale through center, nice and slow. Exhale, spill over to the left. Allow the head to feel heavy. Inhale, come back through center. And just start to wiggle fingers and toes. Again, nothing too intense or fast. Keeping slow, controlled movements throughout our practice today. Moving into wrists and ankles, getting out any cracks or stiffness. Sending your joints some love and support. And then eventually a full body stretch. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Maybe you bring the legs closer together, point through the toes. Exhale to soften and drop here. Inhale, full body stretch, reach long. Exhale, soften. Take 2 breaths here. Maybe you bring a bigger bend into the elbows. Let the feet spill apart. And then just do a mini check-in. How is the body feeling? Where's tension and tightness residing? Maybe in the shoulders, the hips, the back. Today's practice, we will be doing a full body yin stretch. So just notice how you are feeling as we start our practice. Maybe you set an intention, how you would like to feel as you step off your mat. This could be body or mind clarity. And if you're already having troubles finding stillness, just accepting where you are in this moment. Being proud that you've already gone this far. Reaching the right arm nice and long. Let's roll onto right side body, coming into our fetal position. Take 2 breaths here just to feel nice and grounded. Those nice, slow, rich breaths. Start to slow the nervous system down. And gently press yourself up. We're going to come into our first posture, a wide-legged child's pose. If the hips are tight today, maybe you bring the knees a little bit closer together. Send the hips back as you reach and melt the arms forward. For the first 10 breaths, we're going to tent up onto the fingertips, pulling the shoulders back. As you sink a little deeper into the hips, maybe you wiggle from side to side. Connecting the third eye into the mat. And start to send your breath to back body. Feel the expansion through the back ribs and lungs as you inhale. Melting the heart down as you exhale. Inhale, big expansion through the back. Exhale, melt the heart. Few more breaths here. Keep reaching long with the arms. There should be a nice stretch into the shoulders as well if you're tight in this area. Again, using your breath to soften from head to toe. And on your next exhale, go ahead and lower the arms all the way down to the mat, soft through the fingers. Allowing the arms to feel heavy and grounded. Starting to send the breath into the third eye, in between the eyebrows. Send your focus to your third eye. Few breaths here. And then moving our breath down, back body, into the low back, and into the hips. Let's take 5 big breaths into this area here, yogis. Allowing the belly to fall heavy. Child's pose is one of the most grounding postures. If throughout your day or even before bed, if you're finding the mind, the body is a little bit squirrely, I like to say. You just feel like you're kind of bouncing around. Come into a nice child's pose. Even just for 5 breaths, to reconnect, to reground, before moving on with your day, or calming the mind before you sleep. Last breath here. Inhale through the belly. Exhale out through the mouth. Walk the hands behind and underneath the shoulders, nice and slow. Press the palms into the mat as you slowly lift the gaze and lift the chest. Guide the knees closer together. And just sitting nice and tall. If this is too intense for you, you can always come to a nice Sukhasana, easy seat. Keeping the eyes closed, let's roll the shoulders down, back body. And just take 2 breaths here, reaching tall with the crown of the head. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes to the top of that right knee. Right hand reaches nice and long. Inhale, arms come up, come back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Beautiful job, yogis. Come on to hands and knees. From here, we're coming into a toe stretch. So tucking the toes underneath the heels and even making sure that our pinky toes are nice and tucked. Sometimes they like to sneak their way out. And maybe you just stay here. You already feel quite an intense stretch through the feet. Or you can gently start to shift your weight towards the heels. And just start to find your edge, maybe walking the hands even closer to the body. Maybe the hips find the tops of the heels. Or you can walk the hands all the way up onto the thighs, sitting nice and tall here. Our yin practice is all about finding our edge. If the body is screaming, maybe you're finding tension or tightness, you've gone just a little bit too far. The fine line between comfortable and uncomfortable. We have a lot of meridian channels that run through our feet. This is a great kickstart, recharge. We're here just for 3 more breaths. You got this. Slowly start to walk the hands back onto the mat, coming to tabletop. Untuck the toes and give them a well-deserved pat on the mat. From here, let's work through 2 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly, shine the chest forward. Exhale to round. Inhale, gaze forward, lift the chest. Exhale, round, push the floor away. Shoulders go all the way up to the sky. Let's take 2 breaths here in our cat posture. Again, breathing into back body, the shoulders, the neck. And coming back through table. From here, we're gonna walk ourselves into our puppy pose. You may take a block to support the head if you need, just underneath the forehead. Let's walk the hands out in front of us, about mat width apart, keeping the hips nice and high, the legs at a 90-degree angle. Start to melt the forehead and the shoulders down. Again, you can use the block to support the head if it's too intense. Let's find our edge here, yogis. We're not pushing or forcing anything. If you'd like a different variation, you can bring the elbows down to the mat, interlace the fingers, and bring the palms to the back of the neck. Finding a nice stretch through the triceps as well. Don't be afraid to adjust. Get nice and comfortable. So we'll be holding this posture for about 1 minute. Think about melting that heart down to the mat, opening up through the chest. For many of us, this past year has been quite intense, of a roller coaster ride. Take this time to send some love to your heart. Time to heal the heart, recharge the heart, so we can continue to lead with our heart throughout our days. So easy to close off, to shut down. But now more than ever, we need all of your beautiful hearts to keep shining and moving forward, leading us forward. Two more breaths. Slowly extending the arms long, finding the mat. And then again, pressing through the palms, lift the chest, come back to that nice tabletop position. And let's take 2 rounds of cat-cow here, yogis, starting in our cat. So press and round through back body, tucking chin to chest. Nice counter posture, 2 breaths here. Inhale, cow, drop the belly. Exhale, round. 2 breaths, holding here in cat. Inhale, cow. And come back through neutral. Come into a nice easy seat. Our Sukhasana posture with gently crossed legs. And just coming into a gentle neck stretch. As you inhale, grow nice and tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, dropping the head over to the right, lowering that right ear to the right shoulder. If you like to deepen, you can extend that left arm long, tenting out on the fingertips. As well as maybe guiding that right arm to the top of the head. We're not forcing the stretch, we're just allowing gravity to deepen if that feels comfortable for you. Lower and drop through the shoulders. Tuck the chin to chest, gaze down to that right knee, and come into just a different variation of the neck stretch. And then lower the gaze all the way down. Both the hands come back to the knees, palms facing up. 2 breaths. Inhale, gaze comes back through neutral. And then lower the head down to the left. Again, maybe you walk that right arm out alongside body. And reach that left arm up and over to gently rest on the right side of your head. And just noticing subtle differences from left to right side. Starting to get to know your body, where you hold tension. Let's just encourage that tension to start to release. Start to move and flow out of the body. Tuck chin to chest, gazing towards that left knee now. And then the head falls all the way down, releasing both arms to the tops of the knees. 2 breaths. And as you inhale, gently lift the gaze forward. Roll the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down. Once more, inhale, rolling up. Exhale, roll them down. Beautiful job. From here, let's extend the right leg nice and long out beside us, tucking the left foot in towards the body, into our half butterfly posture. You can take a hold of a block or a pillow if you have any support at home, and just placing it off to the outer edge of that right leg. The block can be on any level that you prefer as we come into our side body stretch. So the right hand comes to the back of the head and tilt from the side body. Let's lower that right elbow all the way down onto that block. You can even use it onto the top of that right thigh. And just come into a nice side body stretch here. So we're keeping both of our hips nice and glued down. If you notice you're lifting off, you've gone just a little too far. Inhale to reach that left hand up overhead towards the right hand side. Let's take 5 breaths here, feeling this nice side body stretch here. Finding length as we inhale, softening as we exhale. And And on your next exhale, you can lower that left arm all the way down. It can tuck and sweep behind back body, or you can place it down onto that left hip, encouraging it to continue to ground down. Still hinging nicely from side body. Again, option to close the eyes, nice and passive through both legs. You should feel this in your left side body, into the low back, maybe even into that left hip. You notice the mind is starting to kick up and wander. Just come back to your intention for today's practice. Finding the natural rhythm of your breath to sink you deeper into stillness. And just keeping our shoulders stacked on top of one another, yogis. Notice if you're starting to fall forward. A small adjustment can make all the difference here. Taking one last breath in through the nose. And exhale, gently press yourself back through center. We're gonna guide that right, like keeping it nice and long, but just bringing it out in front of us. So from here, yogis, we're still in that half butterfly. And we're gonna start to fall forward. Again, you can use your block as support to support the head if you need. Let's grow nice and tall as you inhale, sweep the arms up. Grow long. And as you exhale, hinge from the hips to fall forward. Rounding through the spine. Tucking chin to chest. I always like to flip my palms open. I just find it a more passive version. And just start to observe the body. You may take around 5 breaths to start to really soften and release. And clenching the jaw. Softening behind the eyes. And start to fall forward with every exhale. Start to release and to let go of what is no longer serving you. Take this moment Keep softening. And then start to gently press yourself back up, lifting the gaze. Let's take 2 breaths here, just sitting nice and tall. Allowing the spine to realign. From here, we're going to come into a modified wild thing, beautiful counter posture. With the left hand, let's swing it behind us. Right hand comes nice and long to the front. As you inhale, let's lift the hips, come onto that left shin to press the hips forward, lifting them up, swing that right arm back. Keep pressing the hips forward. Opening through the chest. And then exhale, slowly start to come all the way back down to the mat. And repeating on the opposite side. Let's bring the right leg nice and tight towards the body. Left leg goes wide. Again, take any props to the other side. Ground down through the sit bones, sitting nice and tall. Left arm comes behind the back of the head, and then hinge down to the left. Inhale, reach that right arm up overhead, reaching to the left-hand side. Let's take 5 breaths here. Reaching all the way from the fingertips down to the hip. Then you can go ahead, release that right arm. You can tuck it behind back body, or you can just have it nice and passive on that right thigh. Then softening through the legs, through the feet. Breathing into that right side body. And just checking in with the low back. Making sure we're still feeling supported. We're not straining anything too much. Just a nice release. And just keeping, again, the shoulders nice and stacked on top of one another. 4 more breaths here. Being intentional with every breath. Inhale. Exhale, gently press yourself back up through center. Let's take 2 breaths, growing nice and tall. And then guiding that left leg in line with the body and your mat. Sit nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, fall forward. Again, tuck chin to chest. You flip the palms open. Shoulders feel heavy. We're caving through front body. Take the first 5 breaths just to find your edge. Softening from head to toe. And then as you continue to exhale, start to surrender, allowing gravity to take a hold, to deepen. Maybe you bring your awareness and your breath into that third eye, in between and just above the eyebrows. See if you can release the neck a little bit further. Last 2 breaths. And slowly start to lift yourself back up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes last. Take 2 breaths, align the spine. Feel the blood start to rush back down. Kickstanding the right arm behind us, left arm comes nice and long in front. Inhale, lift nice and high on that right shin, pressing the hips forward. Reach back into our modified wild thing. Keep reaching and opening through front body. And then exhale, make your way back down to the mat. Extend both legs out long, give them a nice little shake and pat on the mat. Maybe you roll the shoulders, and then we're gonna come into our supported fish posture. So taking your bolster or pillows, whatever support you have, vertically along the mat, acting as your spine down the center. Bringing the prop nice and close to the body and extending the legs nice and long. Start to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes last. And then opening the arms up to a nice T or cactus. Maybe the legs go mat width apart, toes fall away from one another. Soft through the fingers and the toes, maybe giving them a little wiggle. And then finding stillness. Start to send your breath back to your heart center. As you inhale, filling the heart with fresh breath and prana, new energy and light. Exhale, pushing out anything stale. Inhale, light and love. Exhale, anything old. Once more. And as you continue breathing into your heart center, start to visualize the breath, the energy rushing through the heart, filling it with vitality, with peace, with happiness. Bring a gentle smile to the face. Feel the higher vibration come into the heart. And then take that swirling ball of breath and energy and start to send it throughout the entire body, down the arms, into the palms and the fingers, down the torso into the hips, the legs, the ankles, the feet, into the shoulders, the neck, the cranium, until you feel this high vibration surging from head to toe. Taking this time to nourish all parts of you. Whenever I'm in this posture, I always like to visualize the sun beaming down on my skin, warming me up. Allowing the mind to come to ease. Something about that just always makes me feel so happy. Gently start to bring one sole of foot to the mat, followed by the other. Knees are pointing nice and high to the sky. Feeling grounded underneath the feet. And gently start to swing the hands behind the backs of the thighs, tucking chin to chest as you gently pull yourself up to a nice, easy seat. Rolling any props off to the side. And let's make our way down onto our mat. Nice, comfortable posture. One last pose here, yogis. Keep the knees nice and high to the sky. We're going to bring the right ankle to the top of the left thigh, coming into our reclined pigeon posture. Arms can stay out to a T or a cactus, palms facing up. And spilling both legs over to the left as you exhale. This is a nice IT band stretch. Getting into the hips as well as a twist into the spine, detoxifying all of the organs in the belly. You can bring the left hand to the top of that right ankle if you can reach it, and maybe the head gazes down to the right. Keep pointing that right knee nice and high as you ground down through both hips. And start to allow the body to ground into the mat. Finding that support and stillness. Sending your breath to wherever your body is needing it most here. Head comes back through center as you inhale, followed by both legs. Come back through center and uncross the right leg, guiding the left ankle on top of that right thigh, opposite side. Send the hip open and away as you then fold to the right hand side, allowing that left sole of foot to connect down onto the mat. And just take a breath or two, feeling the difference on this side. Honoring where you are in this moment. And if you'd like to deepen, right hand can find the top of that left ankle and head can fall to the left. Three more breaths here, yogis. Inhale, head comes back through center, followed by both legs. Untuck the left knee and guide them into the chest for a squeeze. Hugging yourself nice and tight. Maybe you gently rock from side to side. Still keeping that nice and slow, controlled movements. Coming back through center, 3 grounding breaths. Fill the belly. Maybe it presses against the tops of the thighs as you inhale. Exhale, draw the knees closer to the chest as you exhale. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Fill the belly. Exhale through the mouth, pushing it out. Last one, biggest breath of the day. Exhale, letting it all go. And then finding your way to a comfortable shavasana posture. Taking up space, getting comfy, getting cozy. Using your props if you wish. And then allow yourself to reconnect. Little mini check-in. How are you feeling? How is the body feeling? Nice scan from head to toe. Maybe the body feels light. Without that tension and tightness weighing you down. And checking in with the mind. Hopefully you've found a little moment of peace, of serenity, of clarity. Change your perspective. Sometimes a slight difference in where we stand can dramatically change how we see things. We often need to change our position so we can see things differently. We don't have to make a dramatic change. We just need to move around a little. Perhaps an unresolved issue is blocking our vision, blocking us from seeing the beauty that's there. Maybe a bit of anger or self-contentment is interfering with our vision. Maybe the changes we need to make are minor, much less than we thought. Maybe we simply need to look at whatever we are viewing without fear, to change our mood and see it with eyes of love. Take a break. Move around. Learn to change your perspective. Maybe you don't need to change what you're looking at. You just need to change where you stand. Staying in shavasana for as long as you need, yogis. And as you step off your mat, remember to be kind, remember to be happy, and to remember that you have everything in you to share your strong, beautiful passion. My light honors and bows to that beautiful bright light in each one of you. Thank you for practicing alongside me. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.